Well, hello there. We are Grace, Anna, and Andrea, and we're going to talk about media and digital literacy.
Well, it's a very interesting topic that not many people know about it, and we should be well informed.
We're hoping to give you some helpful information and facts on the topic, so we hope you enjoy.
Digital literacy. What is digital literacy? The ability to use digital technology, communication tools, or network to locate, evaluate, and use and create information. It also could be the ability to understand and use information in multiple formats from a wide range of sources when it is presented by computers. It's also a person's ability to perform tasks effectively in a digital environment. Literacy includes the ability to read and interpret media, to reproduce data and images through digital manipulation, and to evaluate and apply new knowledge gained from digital environments. So, Andy, what is next?
Media literacy. With its expanded notion of text that includes images, audio, and digital media, media literacy is closely associated with digital literacy. It also reflects our ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and produce media through understanding and appreciation of
Designing anything at all, from a dress to a webpage to a concerts program. Performance. The ability to adopt alternative identities for the purpose of improvisation and discovery. Being able to move fluidly and effectively between worlds can help you when you're exploring online communities, and when you're trying to decide what actions are ethical, and when you're shuffling between home, work, and school.
Also, multitasking is the ability to scan one's environment and shift focus as needed to sail on details. Being a good multitasker is required in our new media landscape, and that includes learning when it isn't good to multitask. Distributed cognition is the ability to interact meaningfully with tools that expand mental capacities. That means something as simple as using a ruler or calculator, or something as complex as efficiently using Wikipedia on your iPhone to access information on the fly. Another is collective intelligence. Is the ability to pool knowledge and compare notes with others towards a common goal. This ability is key to open source projects. Being able to pool knowledge with others can allow us to solve challenges far more complex than the individual mind can process. And what else?
Well, I'm going to continue with judgment. The ability to evaluate the reliability and credibility of different information sources. If you're worried about your students using Wikipedia at the inappropriate times and taking everything they read on the internet as a gospel truth, you're worried that they aren't exercising good judgment. But judgment also includes knowing when sources are appropriate for their use. For instance, sometimes Wikipedia might be the appropriate resource to use. Transmedia navigation. The ability to follow the flow of stories and information across multiple media. Anyone who needs to do research needs a good understanding of transmedia navigation. How to follow trends through video, still photography, written work, music, online sources, etc. Networking, the ability to search for, synthesize, and disseminate information. Writing something isn't enough without the ability to circulate into the communities where it will be matter. So what's next, Grace? Tell us.
Why teach media literacy? Here are 10 good enough reasons. Media literacy encourages young people to question, evaluate, understand, and appreciate their multimedia culture. It teaches them to become active, engaged media consumers and users. 2. Media education brings the world into the classroom, giving immediacy and relevance to traditional subjects such as history, English, health, civics, and the creative arts. It serves as the perfect bridge for subject integration and interdisciplinary studies. 3. Media education embodies and furthers current pedagogy, which emphasizes student-centered learning, the recognition of multiple intelligences, and the analysis and the management rather than just the simple storing of information. 4. Media education is grounded in the sound pedagogical approach of starting learning where kids are at. The media, music, comics, television, video games, the internet, and even ads are part of life that all kids enjoy. Media creates the shared environment and are therefore catalysts for learning.
Media education encourages young people to use multimedia tools creatively, a strategy that contributes to understanding by doing, and prepares them for a workforce that increasingly demands the use of sophisticated forms of communication. Also, in a society concerned about growing youth apathy to the political process, media education engages young people in real-world issues. It helps young people to see themselves as active citizens and potential contributors to public debate. And 7. In a diverse and pluralistic society, the study of media helps youth understand how media portrayal can influence how we view different groups in society. It deepens youth people's understanding of diversity, identity, and difference.
Media literacy also helps young people's personal growth and social environment by exploring the connections between popular culture, music, fashion, television, programming, movies, and advertising, and their attitudes, lifestyle choices, and self-image. Media literacy helps children critique media representation, teaching them to distinguish between reality and fantasy as they compare media violence and real-life violence, media heroes and real-life heroes, and media role models and real-life roles and expectations, which is really, really important. With most students turning first to their internet for research, media education is an essential component of information communications technology education. Assisting young people in developing critical thinking skills and strategies for optimizing searches, evaluating and authenticating information, and examining issues of plagiarism and copyright.
Well, also an important topic is the multiliteracies of the digital age. Digital literacy is more than technological how now. It includes a wide variety of ethical, social, and reflective practices that are embedded in work, learning, leisure, and daily life. The term multiliteracies is often used to describe the various aptitudes and abilities that are needed for use, understand, and create digital media. Given this, it's helpful to think of digital literacy not as a concrete set of skills, but a framework that draws from an expanse of numerous literacies and competencies. Under the digital literacy umbrella are the wide range of unrelated skills that traditionally fall under media literacy, technological literacy, information literacy, visual literacy, and communication literacy, and social literacies. Well, Andy, it's your turn.
Yeah, so as Anna said, there are different range of skills. One of them is technology literacy. Is a proficiency with technology is most often associated with digital literacy. This ranges from basic computer skills to more complex tasks like editing a digital film or writing computer code. We have to be careful though, not to confuse proficiency with knowledge and understanding. A tech-up teen with superb technology skills may still trust much of the information he/she finds online, copy straight off the web for school projects, and not give a thought to the privacy implication of his/her online activities. Digital literacy involves both skills and a set of good online habits that include reflection, critical awareness, and responsibility. Also, another skill is information literacy. This is another important aspect of being digitally literate that includes the ability to assess what information is needed, to know how to find it online, and how to critically evaluate and apply it. Originally developed for library use, this literacy translates well into the digital domain, where in a sea of unfiltered online information, knowing how to think critically about sources and content is essential. Another is visual literacy. At its most basic, visual literacy reflects our ability to understand and produce visual messages, whether through objects, actions, or symbols. Visual literacy is essential to both learning and communication in modern society. Communication literacy is the competence from the foundation for thinking, organizing, and connecting with others in a network society. In particular, today's youth need not only to understand how to integrate knowledge from multiple sources such as music, video, online database, and other media. They also need to know how to use multiple sources to disseminate and share knowledge. And the last one is the social literacy. The social competencies are also needed for full participation in digital society, which media scholar Henry Jenkins describes as a participatory culture that is developed through collaboration and networking. This means that in such a world, youth need skills for working within social networks, for pooling knowledge within a collective intelligence, for negotiating across cultural differences that shape the governing assumptions in different communities, and for reconciling conflicting bits of data to form a coherent picture of the world around them. Now, Grace is going to give us some tips for integrating media literacy in the classroom.
Tips for integrating media literacy in the classroom. Although media literacy is now part of the official curricula of every province and territory, it's too often left out or given cursory treatment in classrooms. This is a result of a variety of factors, such as limited access to equipment, teachers' lack of confidence with the material, and especially the perception of media education as a frill in an age of standardized testing and comprehensive curricula. Here is some advice for making media education a meaningful and integrated part of your classroom practice. 1. Exploit teachable moments. 2. When students have free time, take an opportunity to listen to what they're talking about. Most likely it's related to the media they watch, play, and listen to. Breaking news stories, blockbuster movies, and celebrity meltdowns are all great opportunities for media analysis. 3. Give students a chance to create media, not just analyze it. 4. Although there's more to media education than just creating media, this is a key part of it. There's no substitute for hands-on experience to help kids understand how things like editing and music can influence the way a movie or a TV show affects us emotionally. Camera phones, storyboards, and even magazine collages are all affordable and easy way options for bringing media production into your classroom.
Yeah, and also another way is to start and end with the key concepts. Media education and the media world can feel overwhelming when you start to analyze it. By always coming back to the key concepts of media literacy, you can keep from getting sidetracked as you analyze media products or cultural artifacts. Another is to recognize that kids and adults enjoy media. It's important not to take a negative approach to media education. Teach kids that critiquing is not necessarily the same thing as criticizing, and that we can identify and talk about problematic issues in the media we love without losing our enjoyment of them. And also don't forget to look at positive examples when discussing things like gender, stereotyping, and so on. Teach about media and not just with media. That is, it's not enough to use media in your classroom unless the students are learning about media as well. Anytime you're using media in the classroom, look for a media education opportunity. For instance, if you're showing the movie version of a play or a book, have students to analyze the difference between two using the key concepts. How are the commercial considerations of a movie different from those of a book or a play? What technical differences change how the story is told? How are the expectations of a movie audience different from those of a play or a book? How are the filmmakers' values and assumptions similar to or different from the original's authors? And how do all of these differences affect the explicit or implicit meaning?
Well, also another way is make media education about asking questions, not learning answers. Even though you may feel strongly about an issue or media product, you give your students room to come to their own conclusions. This is especially important when you're dealing with issues such as stereotyping or body image, where your students and you likely already have a strong opinion. You need to model the practice of keeping an open mind and using a critical analysis, not to the emotions, to lead to a conclusion. Also, fight the perception that it doesn't matter. Students often try to avoid talking about the implications of media products by saying it's only a TV show, or a video game, or a music video, or so on, reminding the students that media can have meaning even if creators didn't plan it, and that we rely as much on the media as anything else to tell us about the world. For instance, research has shown persuasively that media consumption can affect how we see others and how we see ourselves, even if we don't realize it. A condition known as implicit or unconscious bias, and the presence of absence of different groups in media has been.
Another tip is to let students bring their own media to the table. To get students more engaged, look for opportunities for them to do media literacy work with their choice of media products. You can deal with concerns about content issues by making your expectations clear. Another tip is to let students bring their own media to the table. To get students more engaged, look for opportunities for them to do media literacy work with their choice of media products. You can deal with concerns about content issues by making your expectations clear and a part of the evaluation scheme, and by having students only present excerpts of media products in group or whole class settings. And finally, to keep up to date with media trends and developments. You don't have to be a media expert to teach media literacy, but it helps to be current about what kids are watching, playing, reading, wearing, and listening to, not to mention what they are doing online. This is a great opportunity to let kids be the experts and teach you about the latest thing.
In conclusion, it is generally agreed that skills and competencies for digital literacy and media literacy are closely related to each other and to the additional 21st century skills that are needed for living and working in media and informational rich societies. Digital literacy encompasses the personal, technological, and intellectual skills that are needed to live in a digital world. Media literacy is a critical engagement with mass media, which nowadays includes digital technologies. Additionally, as media and communication platforms converge, our media practices are changing, from being external spectators and receivers of entertainment and information to being active participants within immersive media culture.